sir. Take him up.
We have done it. We've resumed Two Cool Moms. I am Joe Gatto.
I am Steve Byrne.
And Two Cool Moms is back.
We are back, baby.
Hello. How are you, Mommy?
Good to see you. It's great to be back in the co-pilot chair with you.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Look at the ambiance. Where are we, Joseph?
Ooh, this is so beautiful. Look, you've got this.
We've got this.
You got it here.
We got a little of that.
This guy's here. These weren't ours. We borrowed these from somebody.
Bro, that. Oh, you told me, hey, Steve, bring some things from to decorate the set. Bring something significant, something from home. I toiled with this.
Oh,
I spent quite a bit of time.
Okay.
Feel free to
and
take
you brought
a
it in a
look.
fancy bag.
Feel free to take a look.
Okay. Let's see.
Now that
this is authentic. Yeah,
this is
you didn't
authentic.
Just
Yeah, that's been a family heirloom. Can you take the tag off? We've had the fair. That's a family heirloom. We've had that in the family for years. Yeah. So, my mom got that when she first came to the States, obviously years ago.
Oh, did you want to keep the tag for it then?
Just in case I'll return it. Yeah. And we were just thinking, whatever.
That's
just
great.
See where these go.
Oh, and this was, you told me your grandmother brought this over.
Absolutely. That's
she came over from.
That's authentic.
The price tag. She even got the price tag on it.
Yep.
I can't believe you paid $12.99 for the joke.
Keep the receipt, please. Thank you. And that's also here on set.
Good.
There we go.
You really dove into the duck theme.
Now look, I didn't just go in the store and go to one section. I went through the whole. I went through the whole store. So there we go.
Okay. And yeah.
I got some Tic Tacs.
Just in case you want to stay
Sorry,
fresh.
yeah.
Oh, and
Since we're kicking it off,
there's no receipt. Okay.
there's no receipt. God damn it! Just want to keep it minty fresh.
A minty fresh set.
Bring
Look
a
at you.
good, bring a good vibe and energy to the room. By the way, feel free to dig in.
I asked you to do one thing. You don't schedule it. You don't edit it. You don't even open the emails. I ask you. Excuse me, I'm speaking. I ask you, and I toiled with asking you to be like, hey, you know what? It's going to be a fun set. Bring some stuff.
Yeah.
Got you. That's what I can open a text. Got you. That's what you said. Okay, got you. So you went. We're in Times Square, obviously, and you went to the Times Square Duck Hut. I guess it was New York Duck Hut, I'm assuming. And you spent $47.
By the way, not far off. 45.
Really?
And when he was ringing it up, I was like, motherfucker. But at the same time, I was thinking, well, this will be fun for
This
Joe.
would be great. It's worth a joke. You didn't want to. Did you forget to bring something?
Yes.
I was exactly
100%,
right.
yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, because I think
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if you know, but okay. So the night before I flew here, I was doing my show at Zany's.
Yep.
And it's a crowd work show. So I do the series Steve Byrne versus New York or Nashville, right? Available Punch Up Live. Doesn't matter. And so doing the show, and these guys, Red Clay Strays, their tour manager reached out and said, hey, they're going to come down, and they're a phenomenal band.
A good
phenomenal country, like just classic roots, no production, huge production, just like bass, guitar, drums, vocals. These guys are amazing. So they come. And I'm like excited. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. They're going to spend their off day coming to see me. This is very flattering. And then before I get there, and mind you, I haven't had a drink in a month.
Yeah.
I've been keeping it nice and clean. I'm not vegan, but I've been keeping it nice and clean and keep it in check. And then I get a call from Joe DeRosa, who's on a tour bus with Bert Kreischer. And they say, we're coming in tonight. Be ready. And be ready means hydrate. So anytime Bert's around, it just goes off the rails. So the night just kept happening. Surprise, surprise. I do my thing. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC is there. I bring him up.
With Bert, or he just came in on
He
his own?
came in, and we met at a Steelers function. We're both from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Great
He
guy,
comes
Chris.
down. We sing a country song together on stage, which is hilarious. It was a lot of fun. And then I do my set. Chris Kirkpatrick came up for Sausage Party.
That's amazing.
And then I go over the door. I'm like, you guys want a surprise tonight? I open up the door. I go, DeRosa. DeRosa comes out. DeRosa introduces Kreischer. Then Kreischer introduces Nate Bargatze. And now all of us are on stage together.
Wow.
And the night just
So fun.
took right off. So we had multiple drinks that evening. As I'm coming home, my flight got bumped back, which I told, and then I was like, all right, I was gonna pack when I got home. I'll just pack in the morning. So it's a long story.
Hence the ducks.
Hence
That's
the
how
ducks.
we got the ducks.
Hence
so the ducks' names are Bert, Joe, and Nate.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. That's the
tribute.
title of this episode. Hence the ducks.
Hence the ducks.
Yeah. So I apologize about that because you did tell me, and I set aside things in my office to put my suitcase to bring to decorate.
I can't wait till next time when you bring everything or have the excuse story to tell me why you didn't bring them. Because that's most likely what's going to happen, but I'm excited about it. I actually got to direct Chris Kirkpatrick in a little short film written by Brian Q. Quinn and Sal Volcano called Poquito Bandito is Dead, and I did it in 2004.
Really?
Yeah, I flew in because their director fell off and they needed somebody. They had everything lined up and they had Kirkpatrick. And they said, Joe, and so I said, I'll fly home. And I did it. I directed it for them. And I got to direct Chris Kirkpatrick.
That's crazy.
And Sal and Q in this short film, which will never see the light of day.
Really?
Oh, it was horrendous, I think. I think it's one of those things that didn't, just age weird. I forgot even what the storyline was. It was something about
Do you have it somewhere?
No, it was Q and Sal's, and I think they've put it in the vault somewhere. Q might have it somewhere. I should talk to him to see if he'll release it. But it was like they were on a date in booths together with separate girls.
Okay.
And something happens where somebody goes to the girls go to the bathroom and then they start fighting with each other.
Oh,
like
really?
a full feud. Yeah. It was funny. I just remember, but we were young in our careers and we weren't very
savvy and
seasoned.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I remember that. I haven't thought of Chris since that. Yeah. I have weird.
Even during Trolls?
During Trolls, yeah. No, yeah.
Every kids movie that comes out, you are at the premiere of.
I love it.
And I'm like, me and my kids are just going to go to a normal movie theater and not rub shoulders with the stars.
Amen.
You're at all of them, man.
I can get you a list. It's my favorite thing to do. Hands down. Going to movie premieres is my favorite thing. And my daughter's got the bug now.
Best movie premiere you've ever been to? Excluding Jokers, because I'm sure that there's some emotional sentimentality to it.
Oh,
are you serious?
Hated it.
Why?
Hated it.
Wait, that's your movie's coming out.
But it was so like the network put us like in the lobby of an AMC off of like it wasn't even it was just everybody was crammed. We were allowed 12 people each. Like it was so stupid.
Really?
But my son had COVID. Like it was just it was like a thing.
And this is just
when
before
it started.
pandemic.
Yeah, like
right?
we didn't know it was COVID then.
You were one of the last.
Yeah, my son was the outbreak monkey. Remo started the lockdown. In
Patient zero.
Yeah, you were at the premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't come.
Wasn't invited.
I only had 12 people.
I never get invited to any premieres.
But premieres are great. I would say my first like big one was Wonder Woman.
Right. What a cool,
was such a cool one because it was such a big deal. But I remember, I probably had gone to some before that, but I remember Wonder Woman being one. And for my plus one, I think I brought Justin. I think Justin was my plus one. The kid was our
Hey DJ.
He was good. Hey DJ came out, and it was such a really really cool premiere. But I had been able to visit that set. I saw the movie, and then I hung out and met Patty Jenkins after I had met her before, and then just met and hung out and had so much fun at that premiere. That was a big one for me.
I know you guys are friends.
Yes, great. And then the other one was Spider-Man was unbelievable. Tom Holland's first Spider-Man.
Oh wow,
which was. And any of those Marvel ones are crazy, but I did get to steal my daughter to go to see Boss Baby 2. And we took her like a date, and she was only like 4, I think, when it came out. And we had time to kill.
Right.
And so we went and we got there, and because we got into the city earlier, and we went and had sushi across the street. And I went on like a little date with my daughter. And
that's great.
Really cool. Now me and her do all this sort of stuff together, which is so fun.
Is she finally, or she's obviously older, is she at the age now where she's starting to put it together like, this is pretty cool. This is like a lot of kids don't get to do this.
She takes the experience. And I don't even know if she's comparing herself to other kids, but she takes the experiences in, which is great. Like we're going to Columbus, Ohio in 2 days to go see AJR, the AJR brother concert.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because I was supposed to go here in Connecticut, and I had to have hernia surgery, and I wasn't up to par to travel, just me and her. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'm not going to be jumping around this concert 3 days after getting stitched up in the bellies. And I was like, I'm fresh. I still got this, I guess still got the stitch in. And I was like, I can't do it. So we're going, and I'm actually flying with her. We're going to go stay over in Columbus and then go to the concert. And
do you remember the last show we did together?
Oh my gosh, so funny.
You were
the wrap up of Joe Gatto comedy tour.
I couldn't believe you even did these shows. People don't understand you were in serious pain
Yeah.
prior to, and as soon as you were done with the show, you're the most jovial human being. Nobody hides. You're so good at compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
You could have a devastating personal thing happen to you, and nobody would ever know. And, every show we'd ever do, you'd walk in, you were gracious to security, you're gracious to the people running the house, the sound guy, whatever. You're so kind and sweet. And that was the only time I ever saw you where you were like, as soon as the show was over, you got back, you pulled your pants down, you had an ice bag, you looked miserable, and I took a picture of you.
Yeah.
And
this
to
photo
this day,
here, let's show. We'll throw it up.
It's one of my favorite pictures I've ever had of you because because you're looking dead at me, but you're so honest. And it's just like I've never seen him like this.
You know what the worst? You have the show. You have the. It's so funny because you sent me. We should put up a side by side of the picture after my first set ever as Joe Gatto's Night of Comedy. Right, I did it it's from Appleton, Wisconsin, because you were with me, and then the last show.
Oh my God, that's right.
And I look withered. I was at the first one. I'm like, I did it, and the second one, like, I did it. I just got out.
But it's interesting because you take a picture of somebody. All right, you just most people just smile. You put on a smile. In that picture, though, backstage in Wisconsin, that picture I did capture. It's not just you smiling. You can see there's some resonance of like pride in it.
Yeah.
You took 45 minutes on stage for the first time ever going solo. And there's a different smile in that picture because we've got thousands of pictures together on tour.
Right.
But
the frown in the other picture.
Oh my God. But to be there for the first and then the last, I got to put those side. I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're great.
It's so bad. It's so bad. You can see it on me. There was no hiding it. It was so funny because we didn't even have, I don't know if you remember, we didn't have an ice pack. So Shay was with us. And I said, Shay, she goes, what do you need? I said, I need ice. And she just went, we had done the shopping, right? She went and got like the snacks for the green room. And she had a plastic bag. And she went and asked if they had ice. And she cracked ice trays into the plastic bag from like ShopRite or whatever it was. And I just had a plastic bag of house ice inside my Hanes. Great.
Showbiz.
Oh, that's biz. That's a biz, baby. I was driving here and I thought of something and it was interesting because I was like, I've never seen this. I've never done this. And I wanted to ask you. Mm-hmm. I saw a girl crossing the street where I'm sitting in traffic in New York City, right? I saw a girl cross the street and she was just full blown crying in public, crossing the street by herself. And I was like, oh, that woman's going through a lot. I was like, but also like, I don't know anything's ever happened to me that I would just continue my day and be crying like in my commute and just walking. She wasn't even on the phone or anything. She was just crying, walking.
Yeah.
And part of me wanted to be like, oh, I should ask her if she needs anything. So my question for you is, if you're that person that's crying crossing the street, do you want a stranger to come up to you and be like, hey, what's the matter? Or are you like, leave me the hell alone?
I would assume that person's like, leave me the hell alone. Because obviously if it's tapping into something that's resonant within your soul that's bringing up that emotion, it's so personal, right? And you don't want somebody, you have a complete stranger. And here's the thing about like in New York City, if she's hot, like every guy in the city is gonna be like, hey, what's up? You need some? Or and if you're not, it's just like, she's just crying. which is sad because it's still just a human being that's going through something. But I think that's the instant natural thought that a guy would have in a joking kind of way. But
have you ever?
I wouldn't want to bother someone. But you have you break barriers immediately. So I think that
full China shop.
First off, a complete stranger coming up to you and you're crying and going, hey, are you okay? You'd be like, wait, what? But then you add the second layer, which you're so used to. They put it together. It's Joe Gatto. What the fuck is going on here? Right? Did you say anything or no?
No, I was driving and she was walking. So I was made to think. But then I was like, I don't know if I've ever had, and I've been through some stuff, but I don't think I've ever had a walking crying thing. Have you ever had a walking crying thing? I actually just remembered it.
What do you mean?
Have you ever been in public and just started crying? And I just remembered I had a walking crying thing in Manhattan. I just remembered it now. I was like, oh, I would never do that, but I did. I was seeing a girl and I had just moved back from LA. This is 2005. And we had gotten together and I put together this whole thing and I had gotten a hotel room and we went to see a play or whatever. And I went to Tiffany's and I had bought like the standard. Do you remember like back in the day, there was that heart, right? That everybody, you got for everybody. I bought, and then we spent the night together in the hotel and then I gave it to her and she just was like, I can't accept this. I don't think we could be together. And I was like, And I started.
And you guys hung out the night before?
We did, yeah. And I started crying. She had just started seeing somebody. I think it was something weird. But, and I had started, because I just moved back from LA.
Sure.
And I had started crying, and I was singing.
Oh, God.
I was singing My Girl.
Oh, my God. Thank you. I quit. I'm done.
remembering this
I
right
don't
now.
know this person. I don't know this person.
This
is a stranger.
Weird.
Show me your identification. I don't know you. You were singing My Girl
in the mirror of the hotel room. And then I had to walk to get my car, and I was crying. Still had tears in my eyes, waiting in the valet. I'm just remembering. I was this woman.
Here's what's going to happen.
Nobody asked me if I was okay. Good.
As soon as we're done taping, you're going to see a half Asian crying, walking to DeRosa's apartment, going, I can't believe I'm friends with that. I did see a woman cry one time in the street, walking, and I did approach because I was saying,
you're super nice. I see that happening. You have therapist vibes.
Well, I was in my young 20s. You know, you don't know any better, so I was just like, oh, it's somebody's in need. I go over. I go, Miss, are you okay? Do you need anything? She goes, oh, I'm okay. I'm like, okay, if you need anything, just I'm right here. She's like, I just came from a show called Fresh Towels. I can't. Oh, wait, that's your show. I'm sorry, Jiggy. Oh, that's your. I just put that together.
Delete this segment. Deleted segment.
Tickets available.
Tickets always available.
We got Jiggy here with us. Now we have a Jiggy cam, which is amazing.
Jiggy cam.
Mark Jagarjian.
Always on a mic, too. I got so much flack on tour. Like, get a mic for the show.
Yeah.
Yes, but now people can visually see you. And my favorite line when I go on tour with you guys is my opening line. You know, I love it. I think it's my favorite line. I go, ladies and gentlemen, how about it for Jiggy? Keep up with him on social media. And that's Jiggy spelled with an N.
And my favorite part is that normally there's two people that get into the audience and laugh, and he goes, they get it. You know, Mark Jagarjian is now officially signed up for my new tour. I don't know if you saw the artwork. It's the Let's Get Into It tour, my new tour with Joe Gatto.
Well, you're there, but then it
featuring
says
Mark Jagarjian.
Yeah, big deal.
Mark's big deal, baby.
A size 8 font.
9. I pumped it up to a 9. It's because your
7.
name's so long.
It takes a lot of real estate.
A crazy name. I still don't know how to spell it.
Yeah.
I've been friends with you for quite a few years now, and I still have no idea.
I don't know if I know your middle name.
Edward.
Oh, Edward. That's right, Mark.
It took me a year to learn to even know how to say it.
Edward?
No.
I mean, your English is that bad.
Jagarjian. It took me forever to put it all together. I was like, I don't know how to say it. So I just said, fuck it. I'm not gonna learn it.
He also has 47 emails that are still active. I don't know how he keeps up with all of them. So when I just type JIG in my to send emails. I'm not even kidding. There's 9 emails come up.
I got a lot of
Hotmail, Gmail.
No, they're all Gmails.
All
AOL.
Gmail. I am very consistent with keeping Gmail, but I have 5 different Gmail accounts.
Why?
You know, as you do over the years, you're like, but they're dating back.
I don't.
15
I've had the
years.
same email forever.
I just did this thing where I signed the emails for my children because we got them Apple Watches. And you had to set up their iCloud, and I was like, this is going to be their email for life. Thinking that, but they could easily change it. But I'm like, this is a big moment.
Big moment.
Right? So I had some fun ones lined up, and my wife was like, no, we're going to use their name, you idiot. Because your daughter's not going to be silly hamster 22 at iCloud.com.
You have numbers in your email, which is a very AOL move of you.
Yeah.
That's very amateur.
Amateur.
Well, no, that's because there's a lot of Steve Byrnes.
It's me, Blue's Clues.
There's no Mark Jagarjians.
I guess that's fair. But I associate it with
Jagarjian
Hotmails.
1, and no one would be like, "There's no 2."
Why? Yeah. Why the
why
one?
even have the
Yeah,
one?
stop giving away my emails. There's Mark Jagarjian 1, 2, 3. I have 7 of them.
7 emails and still tickets available at Fresh Towels. That's how pathetic it is. My son, by the way, is tapped into something.
Yep.
You know when you got timing, right? You get timing. My son the other day, he leaves his cereal milk on the table all the time. I go, Kent, grab your milk, put it in the sink, and pour the milk out. I've told you 1,000 times. Go do it now. And he picks up his bowl of milk and he looks at me and just goes, I've been a bad boy. And I fucking lost it, dude. I just bent over and I just kept crying, laughing. And now he knows. He knows that's the thing. So I heard my wife yelling at him 3 days ago. She goes, Kid, I told you, stop putting the towels on the ground. It's got to dry. Hook it on the hook. And I just hear, I've been a bad fat boy. And I'm just like, oh my God. It is just brilliant to pull that out of the ether after seeing it on a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
The best. Being a dad is
Great.
the best.
So
the
great.
best.
That's great, man. Good.
But we are two cool moms.
And we're here to help.
We're here to help. I want to ask you a quick question, okay? Do you remember that Kansas City Chiefs kicker? He was
Frank
the kicker.
Delgado?
What's that?
Frank Delgado?
No, I forget. He was in the news like a month ago, and this made like the rounds, and there were people that are furious at him, but he was basically saying, you know, he was speaking at a Catholic university. He's Catholic, obviously. And he was saying the greatest job a woman can have is being a mother and a wife. And he was explaining that. And then he said, you know, I'm here with the Chiefs. You know, I won a Super Bowl, but the greatest job I've ever had is being a father and a husband. And I was thinking, and when you hear it in context, I was like, absolutely. You know, I'm a comedian. I've done fun things. Most people would be
Countless films,
honored
countless
to-
television shows, countless. We can't
Tickets
even count
still
them.
available.
Tickets still available. Punch Up Live.
But I was listening to him, and I'm like, this guy professionally has hit the crescendo, right? He's on an era-defining team. He's a kicker. He's got a Super Bowl ring, maybe one or I think two, maybe.
Yep.
The peak of his profession, and he's still saying, take aside all that, being a father and a husband is the greatest job in the world. And I was like, yeah, that I agree with that. And I think my wife would agree with her greatest role as being a wife and a mother. And it got taken out of and just it turned into a news story,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know.
Well,
and I was just curious if you had come across it or anything. Just as a parent, I think anybody who's a parent could hear that and hear it and go, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, you know that the title of that probably didn't say all that you just said. That's why. So that's why people get infuriated, right? The title of the news story wasn't.
Yeah, and then
they explained it that way.
Then it was his picture, and he was blown up on Twitter. Like he's basically telling women to get in the kitchen and make a sandwich, and it was like, I thought it was actually a really sweet sentiment.
I think it's insightful if you are, especially if you've concentrated a lot on your career, like I had, and then shift your focus back to fatherhood, and then realize the benefits of both. And I was like, you know, so I think that's a valid point. I would say, you know, fatherhood is probably the most rewarding thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Even more than, you know, it's hard because like you think about everything that you've done and all that you've achieved. And I think that even if I can't even imagine, like, because we do like our jobs, but I can't even imagine people like that hate their jobs, right?
Right.
And then they're like, but at least I get to be a father, right? Because there's that side of the coin too.
Of course.
People like that's the only enjoyment they get. You know,
but imagine if you go for two. Imagine if you hate your job,
shit kid,
and
you're a real dumb fuck kid. That's really just so annoying and like, oh, daddy, I want to eat chalk. You're like, shut up,
just banging his head on the wall the whole time.
And he's like, you know, he's like, I've been a bad boy all the time.
I really have been a bad boy.
But he's like, but he looks, he says it different way. He's not doing it with comedic timing. He's just being like, I've been a bad boy. You're like, whoa. He just has a bow and arrow. Yeah, like that could be like a. They're 0 for 2. This, oh man, that's an existence nobody wants. 0 for 2.
No, those people end up on Dateline.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's always the husband.
Oh, and then they become famous.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we're here to help, right? We're here to help, and that's as two fathers. We once again have been given great maternal advice from our moms, and we're here to help you guys. So before we kick it off, twocoolmomspod@gmail.com is where you send all of your queries, any of your dilemmas. You can even send us a video.
Now we're going to video submissions.
We're going video submissions.
You can send us a video as well. We're really updating everything here. It's
we're
great.
Pumped.
We are
pumped.
psyched.
We were in Coach before. I wouldn't even say that. When we first started, we were at Spirit.
Yeah.
And now we're Delta in the executive lounge.
Comfort Plus.
Comfort Plus.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay,
Gotta
here
keep
we
it
go.
simple.
Head to the first question. All right, this one comes from
Sorry,
Alex.
who are you?
Also, yes, I'm sorry. Who's speaking?
This is Jiggy King.
Patent pending.
All right, so this one comes from Alex, who hit us on the Instagram. Good evening, cool mommies. My name is Alex. I'm in the Air Force, so he's an Air Force pilot.
We have to say that right, yeah.
My
Even
wife
though
is
they're the most
afraid.
spoiled.
Yeah.
Out of all of them,
They get to fly around.
they're the best. They get treated the best. But thank you for your service, Alex.
My wife is afraid when I get out of the Air Force and become an airline pilot that I'm going to be gone for long stretches of time. How do I calm her nerves for being gone for about 15 to 20 days a month? Thanks for the help and love you both.
Yeah, nobody's going to be shooting at you, honey. Like nobody's going to be trying to take my plane down in act of war. So
right.
that's the plus. I guess you start with the pluses.
Pluses, here's the negatives. I would just start sending pictures of hot stewardesses. Just go, don't worry, I'll be well taken care of. Daddy gets hungry on the road. It's
I'll be
cool.
all right.
Yeah.
In seriousness, let's see. So, well, the biggest thing is a career change, right? So you have to deal with that, which is we've been through, I'm sure. Stretches of time apart is tough. So you're just going to have to make sure that the time together is spent together.
Yes.
Or that you're in the moment while you're there. I think that was a pitfall I had at one point, was when you were present, you were there, but you weren't. You were there physically, and you're not there emotionally or mentally, or just be there in the moment. That's going to be the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, as two guys that travel a lot, we've had discussions about this as well. And by the way, you've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
You normally would like push that. You can't even push it out to be
Oh
funny.
no, I could push it out.
No,
No,
it's
it's
still
not
like
as funny.
it's not. You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
buddy, I appreciate that.
Um,
What the hell does that have to do with the Air Force?
sorry. I was just looking at you. I was like, wow, you look great.
You don't look like an airline carrier anymore.
But no, I agree with you. That was something you had said, and Billy Gardell, a good friend of mine, told me years ago. He's like, because you had mentioned it, about everything. You've been pretty public about things,
Yep.
To a degree. But like when you're home, be home, and like I make sure to spend as much time as I can with my children. But I also do everything I can to be like, all right, Jess, why don't you and I go to lunch today, or you and I take a walk, and just feed the security for her, because those days that I am gone. She's by herself. She's spinning so many plates. And also, I'm working in Vegas all the time.
Yeah.
I'm boozing it up. I'm out till 3 or 4 in the morning. So I'm still checking in with her, but I want to do everything I can to provide her with a sense of security that's this relationship is intact.
I think you nailed it on the head, because insecurity definitely creeps into when time's apart on both sides of it. Like when I'm away, and like if I call and she doesn't pick up the phone, like I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? Or I'm like, is everybody okay?
Sure.
It's like, that's what immediately you go to. The house is on fire. The dogs are biting everybody. Like you think about all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's a part of it too. So to help blanket all that and bubble wrap those moments, it's like to make sure the time spent together is reassuring. There's love there, and you feel like you have a partner in the moment.
Yeah, security, I think, the insecurity is where I think trouble stem from, right? The minute it's just like there's questioning, there's whatever. Remember, I don't know why I'm thinking, but Billy Gardell one time told me a plumber came to his house one time, and it's during the day, and he's like, "Oh, we got a plumber? I didn't know we have a plumber. I guess there's some issue. There was an issue, and it was like $5,000 worth of plumbing stuff. Okay, and he said the guy was kind of good looking,
Yeah.
So he comes in as a good looking plumber. He writes him a check for $5,000, and his wife is kind of like a little twinkle in the eye. He's like, oh, okay, that was weird. And then like 3 weeks later, he's coming home and he sees the plumber, and he goes, oh, $5,000. Please tell me he's fucking my wife.
That's a great joke. That's great. You'd rather.
But to Alex, I believe the Air Force pilot, thank you so much for what you do. And then as two frequent flyers, thank you very much for keeping us safe in the skies, especially with all these crazy videos you see of everybody on the airlines. I've never seen an incident like that happen, but I'm sure it must be a common occurrence because it's always in the news
I know,
cycle.
for as much as we fly, I've never seen a batshit
I've never had
crazy
one
moment.
hiccup.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Oh, we said it out loud, though. Now watch when you're
we're
going
jinxed.
back. Forget it.
It's going to be us.
Yeah, for sure. And you're flying next, so let me know.
Okay.
Getting back to Nashville, how that goes. Yeah, I would just say spend time together and, reassure. And also be in touch when you're on the road.
Yes.
Be in touch when you're on the road. That's very important. Be able. Don't answer while you're flying. Put it on the do not disturb while you're in the air, but because you don't want them to come over and yell at you about the Wi-Fi.
But don't they just flip it into autopilot? That's what I hear they do now because the computers are so good. They're there to help ascend and descend,
and if problems.
But once you're up there, you just kind of flip a switch and you just kind of
But what do you think they're doing? They're not playing Angry Birds, right? Like they gotta look at beep boops and things. Yeah, they gotta make sure. Yeah, there's the beep boops and the bloops. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, next question comes from Celeste. She says she believes that honesty is always the best policy, but I'm not sure people always want to hear the truth. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you a totally honest answer. Is there any time when honesty is not the best policy?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. There is not a human being on the planet that is better at being honest than you. You are so you cut to the bone so quick. There's no BSing around you. Uh, and there's another good friend, a mutual friend, Vince Vaughn. He's the same way. He just let's get to the truth right now. What is the truth? And I will tell you the truth, so we're not sugarcoating this and bullshit. And those friends, I feel, are better to have than the one that kind of pussyfoots around it and is going to be sweet and kind.
Yeah.
Right. And then it takes you like 4 weeks or even 4 years later to go, why didn't you ever say anything? You know,
Yeah.
I think those are the situation, the paradigm of that relationship. I'd prefer to have the blunt force instrument as opposed to the sugar coated, friend.
What is
That's what I really appreciate about your friendship. So you are as honest as the day is long.
Yeah, but you
are,
didn't. I don't know how you took to it in the beginning, and that's
I
a
loved
good
it.
question for you too, because you and I, we established a friendship for real after we were friendly and whatever. But you and I, we're ride or die now. But you, in the beginning, I don't know if you knew how to take.
I like it though.
Yeah,
because
but I think you got there because you're like, oh, that's just how he. Oh, that's how he is. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, right? I think it's interesting. You have to, there are levels of honesty with different people. Like
Sure.
I'm very honest with you, very honest with the boys.
Yeah.
I'm honest with you. I have other friends that I'm honest with, but maybe I won't say as much
Sure.
or as quickly.
Right.
I think there are, but I do think always honesty is pretty is important, but also not at the expense of people's feelings. And I think that's
Right.
where the lines get blurred.
You're a very emotional, intelligent person. Like there have been 1 or 2 times where I may have said something on stage or went the wrong way, and you're a leader. You're smart enough. You've been in situations where you're leading, where you just say, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And you're smart enough to go, "Let's not do this in front of everybody.
Yeah.
No need to.
Yeah.
Let's do it here." Some people want to grandstand. Some people want to
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm going to
Bang
throw
the
my weight
drum.
around and stuff."
Yeah.
It's just like it's ridiculous. So something is easy. "Hey, where do you want to go eat?" "I don't care. Let's go." You're like, if I say, "Hey, let's go get sushi," "Nah, I don't want sushi." It's like, well, okay, we know, because you could end up with somebody who didn't really want sushi, but they're going to sit there and they go along with it. It's like,
Right.
I didn't really want to go. Well, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah.
And I think that's why I prefer to have somebody who's right there,
Yeah.
so you understand the dynamic, and now there's no hard feelings, really.
100%. I think there's certain things where the number one thing, if your feelings get hurt, say something.
Yes.
Because no one knows how you're feeling unless you say it.
Right.
And then you get yourself upset because well, they should know I'm upset. They don't.
Right.
So let them know the
Mhm.
way that they're definitely going to know you're upset and have a chance to correct something.
Right.
And we've had this conversation a bunch, is like, if you say it to them, they know.
Right.
You're taking out off the table the people not knowing, because you drive yourself crazy, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I wish they knew. Well, why don't they know? Because they don't know.
Right.
So I think that's a big, when honesty comes into play, be honest about how you're feeling to people. I think that's number one. If people can't handle it, then maybe it's not for you.
Look, I've come to you for advice.
Yeah.
You recently, I called you about a situation with a friend of mine, and again, it's just like that person thinks differently than you. Isn't that amazing? It's like, oh yeah, yeah, of course, they operate differently. So it was, it's good to get those reminders of a different perspective at times. But I believe you are 100% correct. Honesty is the best policy, and it's something. Even with my wife, I think
I was just going to ask you, would you tell Jess you didn't like her outfit?
There have been occasions where
Without her prompting it.
she always asks though,
Oh,
which
does
is
she?
weird.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you like this or this?" I'm like, "I like that."
Got it.
Because I just know, but half the time I don't care.
Me and Bessie just went to a gala 2 nights ago, I think it was, and she was like, and she had to dress, and I went, "Oh no, not for you." And she started laughing. She goes, "Yeah, I wasn't sure." I'm
Really?
like, "Oh, I'm sure this is not a good dress. We gotta try something. What else we got?" I said, "What else we got in the hopper?" Because we've been together so long, she gets
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But the same thing with me, like she'll be like, "Those shoes." And
Yeah.
but I think I bring that out in her because we allow it. Like, we allow the honesty in our house. And even my daughter and son, I see them now. My daughter, like, she'll get dressed and she'll, like, you know how everybody's like, look how perfect my little princess is, whatever,
Right.
you know? And my daughter's got great style. She just loves it. And she'll be like, and I'll be like, I was like, is that the jacket we're going to go with? And she's like, I have another one. Should I wear that one? Like, we'll like talk about
Wow.
it. It's not like, look how pretty my princess is. You know, it's like, you know, you want to show them that there's options and different things. It's not like you're not going to hit a home run every time.
But it's great. Again, to go back to security, your daughter has security.
Yes,
she's
for sure.
secure in herself. And I think that's so important. The other day I was walking with my son somewhere and I was ribbing him. I was just giving it to him, you know, in like a funny way. Like I was saying something about something like his appearance, and he just laughed it off.
Yeah.
And he laughed along with the joke instead of being like, do you really not like that? And I was like, in that moment, I was like, I didn't realize it until he was laughing, but I was like, am I being a little hard on him?
Yeah.
But then I was like, he's rolling with it. He's so confident in himself. He's laughing at it. He's not saying, Daddy, you hurt my feelings or something like that. And I just thought, boy, what a great trait that is. And something I wouldn't have even thought about or put together unless I
100%.
had that moment, you know?
100%. The best thing to do is like I'll get that, like with the jacket thing. She's like, should I wear this jacket, this jacket? I said, what jacket do you think you should wear?
Right.
Like, I'm not going to tell you what to wear. What do you want? Which one do you think you like better?
Yeah.
And then she'll put that one on and she's like, how does it look? I said, do you like it? Like, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, great, good, let's go.
What makes you feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I would have picked the other jacket. She looked like shit. But I'm not going to say that to her. I was like, you know, you picked that jacket. You picked the wrong one. We're going to go out in public with it.
We've been to so many restaurants, right? So many restaurants. The waiter's like, how's the food? Joe's like, that's okay.
I know. Don't ask me.
I've never seen anything like it. Like, and then they go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like most people, I think, would just be polite and go, it's great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And you go back to it. It's like, it kind of sucks. But you will always be honest.
But I'm not impolite.
You're never
I'm
impolite,
like, hey,
but
listen,
it's
this was
true.
great, but the mashed potatoes, they were a miss.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's been desserts that have come to our table.
yeah.
Like, hey, how was the cheesecake? And they're so proud of it. I was like, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. But you know what? The sherbet was fantastic.
Or, I don't like it.
Yeah.
One bite into a meal. I don't like it.
I'm done.
Give me something else to take this back.
That, yeah.
I mean, most people
I'll pay
just,
for this. I'm not going to put myself through eating this. Give me the penne. You know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I should have got the penne. No, I'll get the
Give me
penne.
the penne, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Why? Life's too short. I got arteries to clog. So I can get into it, man.
But it is 100% the way to live. If you can, I can't bring myself to be as confident as you are to be that honest, but I'm telling you, you shortcut so many other things. People know from the jump.
Yeah.
This is going to be what he wants. So get this done. Otherwise, you know, you're just wasting time.
I will
right?
say honesty is a great policy, but also be mindful of people's feelings.
Yes.
Don't be mean about it. Like if, you know, it's like, there's people like, I'm just honest. If you can't take it, you can't take it. That's not my approach. I'm not like that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't put myself in situations where I'm just like, oh, you're so stupid. Like, I'm just being honest. You're stupid.
Right.
Like, that's not something that doesn't help anybody. That's not it,
Right,
you
yeah.
know? I could think you're stupid and you wouldn't even know it ever.
But
Jiggy can't.
I was just looking at you for the next question. Don't be so stupid. I love you, Jiggy.
All right, we'll do a fun question. This one's a fun one. This one's from
They've all been fun.
Yeah, these are all fun. But this one's from Grace, which is particularly fun. I don't know if this is a question from the internet, but I loved it. Is the Kool-Aid Man the jar or the juice?
Oh, wow.
Very good question.
Great question.
Oh, yeah. That's a great question.
I couldn't sleep last
He's
night.
either jar or the juice. He's got to be the jar.
Yeah, he's got to be the jar. So you're saying if you pour out the Kool-Aid, is he dead? Is he gone? Like, if
Yeah.
he's empty? Is he an empty vase?
Is he talking from within the jar, or is he the jar himself?
He's like Frosty. He's like Frosty's snowman. If the Frosty melts,
Right.
there's no
He's
snowman.
a puddle. The puddle's not talking to you. So he's not.
This is a quagmire.
Okay, so that's the right way to go down it. So if the Frosty the Snowman melts, the puddle's not talking to you. The snowman is gone.
He's gone.
Got it. So now if the juice gets poured out,
He's gone.
he's gone.
That's what I would.
So
think.
he's the juice.
But then I thought the jar is him because it's got hands and legs, right? And he's got. Doesn't he have a little spoon?
Oh,
in
well,
there
here's
too?
when he blasts through the wall.
Oh, yeah.
But when he blasts through the wall, his face doesn't juggle in the
juices.
If he was the juice, his face would juggle around.
By the way, all that mortar and brick shit that would get in there too. I'd be like, you got to clean it. You
can't drink that Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you can't drink that.
Nobody's drinking that Kool-Aid. I don't care how big the cult is. If you take the Kool-Aid Man and you grab him by the scruff of his neck and you tilt him over like a teapot and pour everything out, is the Kool-Aid Man, and you stand it back up. Does the jar go, why'd you do that? Or does the puddle go, why am I out here? Like that's the conundrum.
It's a real conundrum.
I think it's got to. I think I'm going with my Frosty thesis.
Okay.
I think if Frosty melts, there's no Frosty, and I think if the Kool-Aid
He's drunk.
He's Kool-Aid. He's Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It's Kool-Aid.
Man.
It's the
It's Kool-Aid, man.
But it's the product, right?
Yeah, it's the product.
He is the Kool-Aid. He's not there to sell you a jar. He's there to sell you the powdery.
So you are equating the vase to the magic hat, right? Because
Yes.
if he's in the vase, he becomes alive to become this person.
Yes.
So once you put the cap on a snowman, he becomes Frosty the Snowman.
100%.
So if you take the hat off, Frosty unfrostified, and if you break the vase,
That's right.
Kool-Aid's dead. So I would say I think we're all on team. It's the Kool-Aid.
What do you think?
I always thought it was a jar.
Oh, so you're on the opposite side of the fence here.
I think it's a jar because
Well,
the
yeah,
face
dumb
doesn't
people
move.
think that.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
The face doesn't move. Like every time he walks, his face doesn't
Yeah,
jiggle
I see.
around.
I get the no sloshing thing.
I think that the Kool-Aid creates the man within the jar.
The Kool-Aid is the man in the jar. It needs to be in the jar, though. So they're one, a symbiotic?
I think
it's like
it's
Venom?
a symbiotic thing.
Okay.
I think the jar comes alive.
Get out.
It comes alive with the juice.
Come on, dude. I mean, there's a part of that Frosty element then.
Yeah.
That's the analogy. But you're on the other side of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you went left. Okay.
Right.
Well, you know what? We don't want to be divisive here on Two Cool Moms and Jiggy, apparently.
It's cool. You're also MAGA. That's kind of
You put the pizza hat on instead.
Pizzagate.
We got time for one more?
By the way,
Yeah.
Jiggy's the only comic I know that always wears his own merch. It's a cool hat, though. That's the thing.
Well, that's why.
That's why I
Yeah,
like that hat.
you
Though.
wear a
Yeah,
cool
I
hat.
really do like that hat, and I still have mine. But it's the white with the black mesh and the.
I
and still
wear
it to this day.
I wear other people's merch all the time.
Do you?
I love that. Yeah, I do that.
You and Sal do that a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like to promote other people's stuff, and I also like to be comfy.
Well, I'm promoting this little known band called Oasis.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you were
make it at some
promoting
point.
you were promoting the desert. You're like, I love the Sahara.
Were these guys pretty awesome?
Okay.
One more.
Final question comes from Brandon from the Instagram. Says, my brother is dating a girl that's clearly manipulating him and my parents won't do anything about it. What should I do?
Oh, that's tough. So his brother's got a girl, and he doesn't like it. Basically, he doesn't like it. Doesn't like the way that's going into. Other people's business is tough, though. Manipulating the parents, though.
I think I read it with the wrong emphasis.
Got it. You want to try
The girl, dating girl that's clearly manipulating him, and my parents won't do anything about it.
Oh, gotcha.
So
okay.
that
No, it's
changes
not-
the whole question. You want to try again?
Okay.
Let's try it again, Jig.
Hey, dum dum.
My brother is dating a girl that's clearly manipulating him,
Period.
and my parents won't do anything about
Oh, the inflection changes the question.
There we
So
go.
he's waiting for the parents to do something about it.
Mm.
Got it. He should be waiting for the brother to do something about
Hey,
it.
dude, what's his name again?
it.
Brandon.
Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. Why don't you get laid and not worry about it, dude?
Yeah.
Why don't you stop being jealous of your brother because he's crushing ass?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you want a fresh one from your older brother or from Uncle Stevie? Hit the streets, find a girl, go to Dave and Buster's at happy hour, make it happen. Christ, what a loser.
2 for 1 ski balls.
No, he's looking out for his bro. That's really sweet.
That is sweet, but I mean that's
But to
dangerous
your point-
waters. You can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, I didn't. If you don't like somebody, they end up getting married, having kids. You're the godfather of this kid that you hate, this hateful child. I mean, that's it. I mean, it could be a very nasty road.
Yeah.
You know what? But then all of a sudden, he gets sick, passes away, and now you got to take care of the wife because she's got an injury from the big accident they were in. Her legs don't work, and now you're pushing the wheelchair. And now you're stuck with this woman that you were like, I didn't like you back in the 25 years ago. That could be tough. You don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Well,
Mind your business.
You really paint a picture.
I'm telling you. Because that's the thing that can happen. Let's say him and a girl, they get together, they get married,
Right.
okay? And now that's in their life. Oh, this is the in-law. You go and you spend the holidays and you with them for Thanksgiving. Pass me the turkey. We don't eat turkey. We eat tofurkey. We're trying to save the turkey. So fuck you, bitch. I want turkey. Can't have turkey. You're ruining my life. You say all this at Thanksgiving. You walk out. You don't talk for 12 years. Your brother has a devastating accident. he ends up passing away. And now she's like, if you ever want to see your nephew again, you're going to come and have tofurkey. And he's like, fine. I'll have tofurkey. You go there and have tofurkey. You get locked in the house. It gets taken over by strangers. And now you're in a hostage situation. And the only way to save her life is to kill the nephew. Now you kill the nephew and now you have to marry the wife. And now she's your wife. And now if you said something 25 years ago, she would hold that against you. Yeah.
Wow, you really...
I think about these things.
That is absolutely part of the multiverse.
Yeah, it is.
You Doctor Stranged it for us.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Or you could just, say, I don't like your girlfriend. It's like, me neither. They break up.
There you
Thank
go.
God you said something. You
There
opened
you
my
go.
eyes
Yeah.
to it. Getting people's relationships is tough. I always try to
Don't.
step back.
Don't.
I made the mistake once of telling one of my very good friends that I didn't like the woman he was with.
Yeah.
And they were still together for multiple years after that. And it was very awkward.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and he didn't appreciate that. And then I was like, I think that opened my eyes to be like, some things you just don't need to make your business. Even though if you feel like you're doing the right thing for your friend, which I did feel like I was doing, I was just telling him, I don't think this is the right one for you. And he did not receive that well.
Right.
And
But they are still together. And
no.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. I was right, but I don't put it in his face.
At the end of the day, you
Yeah.
were right.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I was right, but I don't like to rub it in his face, but he knows.
Is he sitting in this room?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not. I was looking at the camera because he watches, and So,
But
you're welcome.
also this, just the little clues we get in the email. It's like he's reaching out to his parents to like do something about it. He seems young. The brother's obviously young. It's a fresh relationship.
Yeah.
So what's his name again?
Brandon.
Brandon. Just know this: there's going to be 1,000 girls that are going to be interested and dating and maybe not and all this stuff.
Yeah.
There's only one. They would say, oh, I'm looking for the one. There's only one. Sometimes there's 2 ones. Sometimes there's 3 ones in a lifetime. So odds are, if this is young relationship's going to ride it out, they're going to learn experiences from it and make the next relationship even better. So just, I know you care about your brother.
100%.
Just shut your mouth.
Yep. Write it out.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Mommy and daddy can't do anything about it. And mom and dad are a little more experienced than you are. And if they ain't doing shit, then you shouldn't either.
Yeah.
But it's great that you care about your brother. That's the win here.
Eventually, your brother's going to be walking the streets holding a Tiffany necklace in his hand that she gave back and crying. And someone's going to say, are you okay? My bro. My bro. My bro. Well, that's been Two Cool Moms.
Great job.
Great job, buddy.
Great to be here
Yes.
in this new space
So
again.
much
We
fun.
just keep upgrading the pod.
Yes.
But folks, please submit video queries, your dilemmas, any issues, interesting questions. You want us to solve anything.
We're here to help.
twocooolmomspod@gmail.com. Not to be confused with Jiggy 6875 socks forever @gmail.com.
Yes, don't want to mix them up.
Yeah.
Follow our Instagram. It's at Two Cool Moms Pod. And subscribe, do all the stuff. We love you.
Thank you. These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us. Follow us on all social media and subscribe to our YouTube.